I'm Laura with Wrestler Motors, and I wanted to talk a little bit about leasing, explain how the program works and what I've seen here at Wrestler. If you're thinking about a new Toyota, whether you're paying cash or financing, I really recommend looking at leases because you're going to get a lower payment and you're going to have more options at the end of 3 years. Behind me, because I'm a visual person, I've sketched out how lease works, which I'll jump into in a minute. This is something that I did on a limited Highlander that I just leased recently, and I've rounded off the numbers to make it a little easier. The first thing is, at other stores you do negotiate off MSRP. Because we're a best price store, we discounted it down to $39,500. And what you do when you finance normally or pay cash is you're buying down from best price down to $0. Usually if you're financing, that's over a period of 5 years. What you're doing on a lease is you're financing between best price and the residual value over a period of 3 years. Now this residual value is something that Toyota sets. I can access it for any of the vehicles on my lot, and it's mandated by the federal government, so it can never change. There was a period where leasing was a little sketchy because dealers didn't have to release that number and they were surprising you at the end of the lease. What this number is what you can buy it for at the end of 3 years. What I like about that, again, because it's mandated by the federal government, is you can just keep it in the back of your mind and it can never change. If it's the best vehicle you've ever driven, keep $18,000 in the back of your mind on this Highlander, and you can buy it for that just like you would a used car, either paying cash or financing at the end of 3 years. Your second option at the end of 3 years is to trade it in. This is what I see happen the most, and the reason is because Toyotas have such good resale value that in almost every circumstance that I've seen, the Toyota is worth more than that residual value. So say you bring it to a dealer and they appraise the trade at $23,000. That means you have $5,000 in equity on that vehicle that you've built over the 3 years. That's a check to you. It can go towards a down payment on your next lease or purchase, or it can just go in your pocket. In almost every circumstance, like I mentioned, that I've seen, I have someone trade it in and get into a new vehicle for about the same payment. The third option is you can actually sell it outright. This, depending on what state you are, is a little bit more complicated because you may have to first buy it and then sell it outright, but of course then there's a chance that you could get even more for the vehicle. And lastly, your fourth option is to literally turn the keys back to Toyota and walk away. It's nice knowing that that's your last resort. However, I've never had anyone do it because then you'd be walking away from the equity that you've accrued, all of that money that could be going into your pocket. What I want to mention is this is the only scenario where mileage would come into play. Usually the leases that I run are 15,000 mile a year leases or 45,000 miles at the end of the lease. If you turn it back into Toyota, they'll charge you something like 8 cents a mile. But again, like I said, the chances of you doing that are very, very slim because you could trade it. And again, this is on anything. You're not stuck in a leasing cycle or in a Toyota. You can trade it on a Ford, on a Chevy, and still have that equity there because they have such good resale values. So again, I usually don't pay a ton of attention to mileage. For example, I drive about 18,000 miles a year and I'm in a 15,000 mile a year lease because I'm so confident that I'll have equity, I know that I won't turn it back to Toyota. A couple things about having the lease be over 3 years that I really like are that you're covered under warranty. In a Toyota warranty, you have 3 years or 36,000 miles on the comprehensive warranty. That's anything electrical, your windows, your radio, your moonroof. And then you have 5 years, 60,000 miles warranty on the powertrain or anything that fuel or oil touches. So you're covered for the 3 years. If anything happens, you just bring it into the dealership and they take care of it. The other thing that's nice about the new Toyotas is they all come with Toyota Care, which is 2 years of free maintenance and free roadside assistance. So your oil changes, tire rotations, safety inspections, and fluid top-offs are completely covered for 2 years. Thus, over a period of 3 years, you may be paying for one oil change out of pocket. That's what I really like about leasing is your cost of ownership is going to be very, very small, and you're going to be able to get into a new vehicle at the end of 3 or 4 years. One of the other things about having a vehicle that is going to have such good resale value, again, is if it's something you just love, you won't be able to find another used vehicle for that price. For example, right now on my lot, I have a couple 3-year-old Highlanders that are limited that are fetching closer to the $27,000 range. So it definitely puts you in a good position at the end of 3 years. And if you decide to buy it, you know what the history was like. You're not betting on hopefully that they were a conservative and safe driver and easy on the vehicle. That's my explanation for leasing. If you have any questions, you can always email me at lmadison@wrestlermotors.com or visit me at facebook.com/bozemanofcars, where you can access more advice on buying, more tips on leasing, and my contact information to talk to me about particularly leases with Toyotas. I'm Laura, and thanks for watching.